Alright guys, welcome back to another recap. Scratch day, I mean I traded a lot and I'm laughing because I did something. You guys are gonna laugh. Look at how many shares I flipped today. 179,000. I hadn't flipped that many shares in a long time. Traded Tesla. I'm gonna go over Tesla a little bit. Adjusted, actually, what does that say? Adjusted. I'll have to look at it. Penny stocks are completely dead. I didn't see anything this morning. I was even trading SOXL, which this is one that I'm going to go over. I took a $300 loss, but this one, it's an ETF. It's cheap enough that I was able to buy it, and I had a couple of zones marked on that one, a couple of lines that I was looking for, but still finished red on that one. But everything else, I mean, it's literally scratch even. MULN. Like 40 profit, 30 profit, 40 profit, 7 loss, SOBR, this was a lucky trade. I'll explain it now. A lucky trade. So this one put me green and this one put me green. Both of these two trades right here. Otherwise, I was looking at a red day today. If you guys are new to this channel, to this recaps, then hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, hit the thumbs up. If you do like them and want to keep watching them, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to trade live with me and my team, then just hit the notification bell. And I trade live every single morning right here on YouTube. Got over 150 people watching me every morning, and we just try to find the best setups together. I am kind of curious. So dead cats have been penny stocks, small caps have been dead recently. How many of you guys actually trade large caps on a regular basis too? Like if you guys look at Tesla, look at SPY, Netflix, Nvidia, all of these ones. So I want to know down below who actually trades them, let's say 3, 4, 5 times a week, even though you still watch the penny stocks. Because I've never done that. I've only traded penny stocks. But if you guys do, just let me know down below. I'm going to go through a couple of these trades. I'll go through MULN, SOXL. MULN because I was up to 250 on that name, and then I gave it back. SOXL, I'll go over that one for sure. And then I guess I'll go over these two real quick. So the first one's going to be MULN, and that's one of the gappers this morning. Actually, it wasn't even a gapper. I think it was just a stock that we all had on watch. There's been a lot of hype about this one recently. I guess it was a gapper. And then this one I took a breakout trade through the pre-market high. So pre-market high was this little bit of a pivot down here, 43 cents. And this started kind of pulled down, held it, Let me fix my volume for you guys so you guys can see it. And then finally took one candle rip, and I started adding on the second candle here, looking just for that new high of day. I added pretty heavy on this thing. I had 30,000 shares, but it's pretty cheap, and I'm not looking at 5 or 10 cents. If I'm looking at 10 cents with 30,000, that's 3 grand right that fast. But here I was looking for half a penny move maybe at the most, and so I was able to kind of like step it up 10k shares, 10k shares again. I was like, oh, it's not moving that much. 10k shares again, so I punched it. And so I got the breakout though. I got the breakout and I started selling. I think I did a little too early. I sold 20k shares right out of the breakout. I was still like, you know what, this is a 20k position. I don't know how big it's gonna do if this thing just flushes real quick, right? But it actually held and kept pulling back up. And I think at this point I closed fully out of this trade because I went and looked at something else. I don't remember what it was, but I got close to straight out. I think I made $230, $240 on that trade there, and then I went to go look at something else, and then I came back, and then I saw this kind of candle up here, and then this started pulling back, and at that point I was like, you know what, I'm looking for 43 cents to start holding pivot on this pre-market high. That same pivot that I was looking for the breakout, now I want that one to hold here, and then give me that next leg up. And guys, I kid you not, I mean, this market first week was pretty good. Like as soon as the new month hit, this month, like the first week was awesome. There was stocks gapping up, shorts were getting squeezed. There was volume everywhere. Even if stocks weren't ripping, there was at least volume. And this week, absolutely nothing. And it sucks because I had that loss on Tuesday, that direct offering. And, I'm not trying to get profit back, but I definitely want to keep trying to scale up and see if I can do better. And I just can't because there's literally no place to do it. And so I'm getting a little frustrated with the market now, which is why I was like, you know what, I'm going to trade Tesla, and this is going to be funny. Not funny, but, I just, you guys will see. Anyways, and so I lost about 150 there, so I give back, or I guess a little more. I only had $45 after that, and I never touched this thing again. Like, I just left it alone, and then, move to the next stock. After that, I mean, I might have traded REV. I might have traded another AGFY again. MVTS, look at that one, and this is what I was talking about, low volume. Like this play right here is a beautiful play. I mean, the trade worked out. Look down here, my 5 minutes. There's a trend line from highs. lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and then today finally pushes out of that trend line. And I mean, I took the trade exactly right there. And this one, it was kind of funny. I wasn't going to explain this trade, but I'll do it real quick. I jumped in right there, and this one was kind of funny. It was like I jumped in, and I was like, there's absolutely no volume. I was like, I guarantee you, and because there's no volume, you get a lot of slippage, you know, because nobody's willing to share that close. You're kind of big spreads and stuff like that. And so I was like, I guarantee you, I was up $7 on that trade. I guarantee you with volume, if I close it, I get those $7. And I was like, I guarantee you if I was to close this trade right now with $7 profit, it literally would go back to break even or put me into a red trade just because there's no volume. And so I was like, you know what? Watch this. I was up 735. I go, sell. I look at my P&L, down $7. I'm like, and the price didn't even move down. It was just the little volume play. Anyways, perfect dip, ended up ripping. Oh well, I didn't want to really talk about this one. SOXL, I'll talk about. This is an ETF, and this one I could have done better. Let me again show you guys the 5-minute, because this one was a key 5-minute level. So if you look on a couple days ago, we went up to this resistance 836, and this was currently the high 836 there, and then double topped it this day here 836, and then kind of pulled back, and then today started grinding back up again. And so when I saw this one today, I was like, you know what, we might anticipate an 836 pop again. And I saw this one really early. I saw this one like through here. And I don't know how I even saw it. Maybe somebody mentioned it. And at this point, I was like, you know what? Give me a 5-minute flag. Give me a good dip here so I can take that trade and anticipate that 836. This thing does not pull back at all. It kind of flags here, but not a healthy pullback. It's more extended and smaller pullback, so I didn't jump in on that one. But then finally puts in a nice little bit of a flag up here. Finally a nice 5-minute candle there. You know, this finally made a 5-minute candle on the 5-minute chart, and I was able to snag that trade at the very low, like literally bottom tick this candle here. Well, actually I didn't. 812 is the low, and I got it 815. But I took 5,000 shares. I took 5,000 shares there. And this thing started just instantly popping back up, At the top of this trade here, I was up $400, and I didn't sell a thing because I was looking for this thing to break 828 new high, and then 836. I wanted to hold this trade from here all the way up to 836, back up here. And they got pretty heavy here. It closed high, and then this thing started pulling back down, pulling back down, pulling back down. And I was like, oh no, this can't be happening. I cannot let this thing go from $400 to a straight up red trade. And it would have gone to a red trade because my average, oh actually it wouldn't. My average was 815. It dropped down to 816. So I guess it wouldn't have. But I panicked. I sold it. I made $100 on that trade right here. $100 off of 400. I made $100, and then this thing goes right back up, you know, just high, all the way up to 836. I don't think it broke at that time. No, it literally topped 836. So that's, you could see I was looking at 836 right there, but then pulled back down, and then actually came back up and held 836 the second time, and broke 836 the second time. But I think up here I was like really anticipating a new high day. So this thing pulled up, pulled back, I added, pulled back, I added there, and then got myself to a pretty green trade here again, looking for 836 again, looking for this new high of day there, and this thing decides to flag down and then stop at right there. And that trade I lost $330 or $340, so I lost on that one. Ended up flushing on me. I stopped out down there, and then I think it came back up, finally got the break of 836, took a small scalp there, smaller size since I'm buying the breakout, so I made like $40 back, $50 back on that trade. But this right here is pretty upsetting. If I would have taken these 5K shares from here, and I did a good job at holding them, I didn't sell any, but you know, of course, if I would have sold something, this still would have been a $250 trade, $300. Would have flipped my day around a lot. Actually, did I even explain? I guess I did, right? I'm up $95. For some reason, my chart is messed up. It says I'm down like $70, but I really am up 95, so I don't know why that's happening. And it did it earlier until I imported a new trade, then this updated, but then this updated to like the previous trade. I don't know what's happening. But missed that one there, whatever. After that, SOBR, my lucky trade. I'm going to save Tesla for last. SOBR. So SOBR, I've been calling this one out for a while, and the reason why is I've been looking at the daily chart on SOBR, and on SOBR, you could see every time, I mean, it's been like 10 days for this stock, and every time we have spiked down on the daily to like a 250 level, this thing does not break. right here. This is 1 candle, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 candles on the daily pulling down to 250 and just doesn't break. And so I was like, this thing is going to go. And if you look at the top, this thing got shorted that first time, the second time, that third time there, fourth time here. Those are pretty big topping tails. This day was looking good and then sold off. This day spiked all the way up, sold all the way back down to 250 again yesterday. And so this thing has a lot of topping tails at top, but a big support at 250. And so I was like, if I just find a good, decently set up, even if there's no volume on it today, I'm just going to take the trade and I'm going to see if this thing wants to just gap up. If this thing gaps up tomorrow or something like this, I'm going to be upset because I closed my trade. I made 160. But I just think somebody with big money is buying down here, not letting the stock fail out of 250. And I have a feeling this one can squeeze everybody that's out here and then make that nice pop. Which, if it does, it'll be good because this one has room up to the 200 moving average. Oh, I don't have it on my 1 minute time frame, but you know, that was a lucky trade. Now, where did I take the trade? I took that trade, I put in this leg today, and then on this pullback here, I took the trade right there. And so I think I was down like 60 bucks towards the bottom of that, and I was like, I'm just gonna let it sit here until the end of the day or something, see if it wants to pick up volume towards power hour. But started working. Here I was up probably like 150, down 100 or whatever. At the very top of this, I think I was up $250 on the trade, and I really thought this thing was going to open up, maybe consolidate, get some volume power hour, and then gap up. But then it had this nasty flush, and at least I saw it. It had this nasty flush right here, and at that point I sold on the way back up in this candle, just panic selling. I was like, if I close to this now, it actually puts me green on the day, and so I took that profit there and just went ahead and went green on the day. Now Tesla, you know, I got so bored today that looking at penny stocks, I looked at Tesla, and on Tesla, I was like, you know, I wonder if I could really just, you know, master one stock and really trade it. And it's something I'm gonna keep trying to keep an eye on, but it's pretty hard, you know. It's pretty hard when you have 6, 7, 8 stocks. At least when there's momentum, and you have 5, 6, 7, 8 stocks that are good volume and stuff like that, and trying to break highs, and you want to catch the dip, or you're gonna catch the breakout, and then on top of it be watching Tesla or Apple or SPY, or you know, it's pretty hard. So I've never really done it, but today it was so slow. I looked at it right here. Let me see where the trade was, right there. So I took, oh, it's not showing my trades. This is the one I wanted you, okay, I'll try it again. It's gonna show it. So this is the one, the first trade. There's another one. So if you guys saw my live, you keep watching. So kind of this downtrend, downtrend, downtrend. You can see it was holding, because once we broke out of it, we tried holding it there, and then flushed right back under it. But then again came right back on top of it, and I actually took the trade on that retest of the downtrend right here. Literally nailed the bottom of that candle there. I took, I think, 100 shares on that one. I didn't play it too aggressively. Well, I guess I turned them off. There it is. I took 100 shares there and was able to put it all the way back up, and I made $100 on that trade, or $97 on that trade, or whatever. Hold on. $97 on that trade. I should have kept some runners, or just, you know, bought 100 and put a stop loss at break even, because I would have caught a very nice move. Literally just 100 shares, I went from 210 to almost 215. That's 500. That's $5. That's $500 with 100 shares. It's a $5 move. Anyways, made $97 on that, and then look at this. I would like sat down for the recap, and I was like, you know, I really wonder if if I could trade Tesla, you know, I want to see how liquid it is, even if it's not the moment right now, right? Even if it's not like the market open when there's a lot more volume. And so I started looking at it, and I was like, it's kind of forming this pattern here. I want to see if trading the patterns works on these large stocks, and they do. You know, I was looking at some clear like break of downtrend, break of uptrend. I think my one entry that I called out, I think I drew this uptrend here, something like that. And then I told on stream, I was like, you know what, I should probably short right here through that top, and it would have worked. I didn't take it though. And then I think there was somewhere another one, like break a downtrend, somewhere around there. But then I started scalping it, and you could see my orders like left and right. I'll explain what I did here in a second. I actually went long and short. I was like, I wonder if I can short this too. I know I can short it because it's a long stock, but I wonder how many fees they're gonna charge me or something like that. And I don't think it tells you until the day afterwards. And so tomorrow is when I'm really gonna find out how much how much I'm gonna get charged for fees. But anyways, you guys can see all the orders there. I'm gonna take them out, and you can see I was buying like 100, 300, 200, 600 shares at one point, 500 shares. That's a lot, you know, $200 stock, and I'm buying 500 shares. But you know, it's Tesla, and I was taking trades anyways. So first trade here. Let me see. Let me see is this jumbo mess that I was doing. So that's kind of the first pattern that I had. Kind of a little bit of a downtrend right here, and then kind of this uptrend. And so as it was heading towards those tops, I was trying to short it, you know, trying to short it here, short it there. I think I bought some like through this breakout here, because this is also a pretty nice downtrend the whole day right here. And so I was like, if we get out of this and hold this, we might find that leg up. And so I either bought it here and made some nice, then bought it back here again, back up there. I was chopping left and right. Like, you know, I made $90 on this first trade over here, and I'm only up $70 after all those trades through here. And so it was really choppy, but I mean, I was flipping money pretty crazy. I was up 150 at one point, and then I was down 150, and then I was down 200, and then I was up 50, and then I was down 50, you know. But it's not like, it wasn't like penny stocks, you know. I get one good trade on a penny stock, whether that's red or green, I might not find another trade. Tesla, during this range here, that literally is choppy, I mean kind of choppy, not crazy volume, no range, you know, it's just tiny gaps right here, tiny movements, and I was still able to go from 150 to 200, from 200 to 200 negative to break even to, you know. And so it was pretty crazy, you know. I might keep an eye on Tesla tomorrow morning and just see how it behaves, and watch it the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, see if I can find a trade if the gappers are completely dead. I don't know where, I think I was mostly down through this whole move, and then I finally flipped short on this thing somewhere around here, because I had, you know, August support, broke it this time, never closed underneath it, popped right back up, and then finally pulled back down, started closing under it, especially after this wick rejection there. I think I took a short there, and I was able to ride this thing down. That one I took a very small share size, but I was able to ride it down pretty well. And then I think I took it again here. Didn't get the opening this time, but I took a trade short there again, looking for the next leg up. Never got it, and at that point I think I left it alone through here. But I mean, I thought that was funny and pretty interesting, you know, to see that with no quite volume on Tesla and range and stuff, I was still able to flip shares and make some money that way. But that's going to be it for today. I don't know, like I said, my trader view is kind of messed up, so I really am green on the day. If you were to look at my my calendar, it marks it green. So it's kind of weird that it did that, but either way, you know, locking in a green day after 2 red days, that's okay. Even if it's tiny, it's kind of a little bit of a reset, and I'll be back tomorrow. So I'll keep an eye on the penny stocks, but they have been absolutely dead right now. So we'll see what happens tomorrow if there's any good gappers. I'm actually really praying, not praying, but really hoping is SOBR gaps up, starts hitting that $3.50, $4 range, and starts taking out these highs. These levels right here are daily levels that I'm watching. If this thing pops above any of these and starts flagging, I'm going to be looking for this. Hopefully it doesn't gap up that big, though, because if this gaps are right through all those levels, I'm going to be a little bit upset. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. Please let me know if you guys do trade the large caps and how you do it, options, shares, you know. I've never really done them and never really was interested in them, but with this market, you have to figure out something. So we'll see. Keep an eye on them and see what happens. You guys have a good rest of your day. Please like the video. Please leave some comments down below. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'll see you guys tomorrow in the live trading.